Good morning, everybody. So in this video, we are doing some freezer cooking. I can't remember how many meals I'm making because again, I did this video months ago. But we're gonna watch this together because I did edit it a little bit. But anyway, okay. So we've got 3 pounds of ground beef there. I'm going to fry it off, and I got the potatoes boiling. As you can see that. Do you really need to see me peeling them? I recorded it. I didn't put it in. Anyway, so I'm going to break this up. And for those who keep saying don't leave plastic in when you're cooking, that spoon is not plastic. It is silicone. I didn't even realize they still made plastic silverware or plastic cookware. Well, I knew they did, but I mean like that. I haven't seen that in years. Years. Okay, but anyway, so we've got some pepper going in, some salt going in. Wash my hands. And then we've got some Italian seasoning. And I don't know what I was doing there. Some dill. And we're going to stir it up. Stir. Yeah, I get that comment a lot about the stop leaving plastic in when I'm cooking. Anyway, I'm going to stir that up really good. And then I leave it. I think I leave it in there. I typically do. Yep. So that way the meat that's on the spoon can cook, and then it, makes sense in my head. Then that way I'm not putting raw meat back in with cooked meat. But hey, to each their own, right? Okay, so I'm going to check the potatoes. They still got quite a ways to go, if I remember correctly. Okay, so the meat is done. Now we are going to drain it after I rinse it. Oh no, maybe I didn't. I don't know if I rinsed it. There was stuff in it. It's normally little pieces from my cupboard, the little wood shavings. Get that in there, let that drain. I let that sit for a while. Mash potatoes up, get a good arm. Oh, and you can see here I made some breadcrumbs too, down in the corner there on the stove. I made breadcrumbs. Oh, apparently I really messed up my timing here, because in the corner over there I've got some. Oh no, that's right. That day I think I had 2 packages of chicken breast going. Yeah, because I have some chicken tenders over there, and then I have a bowl of the chicken breasts. Oh, I told you I was making quite a few things this day. Making shepherd's pie. I made breadcrumbs. I did not record that because I think I have a video on making breadcrumbs. But seriously, take the butts of the bread that you don't eat, all that stuff, and toast it, put some spices in, grind it, breadcrumbs. Now, I probably already did add the salt and the pepper and the margarine and the milk, but I'm adding more because apparently I need more. And I would have added salt and pepper to this. I probably did it before doing the video. Yep, mashing potatoes, mash. How exciting. But then again, how many people actually still use a potato masher? Please leave a comment down below, because I know so many people use those hand blenders now. Okay. Checking it one more time. Potatoes are fine. Now, we're going to make, these 3 smaller containers, you can't see me pointing. These 3 smaller containers are for me, and the bigger container is for the boys. I do this because corn doesn't sit very well with me, and they like corn in it, whereas I prefer mixed vegetables. So it just works better if I do it this way. And again, how do you guys like your shepherd's pie? With cream corn, or with mixed veggies? And now personally, I love it with gravy in it too. I didn't have any gravy, or else I would have added gravy. All right, here goes the cream corn. And this cream corn is actually dairy-free. Weird. Most cream corns have dairy in them. This one, it's a Giant Tiger brand, no name brand. No dairy in it. we were kind of shocked on that. So my daughter's excited she can eat that. And yes, it's very easy to can your own cream corn. Do what suits you. There we go. Probably found a piece of the wrapper when opening that. You know, you're using the can opener and little tiny pieces of paper come out. Okay, so here we go. Here's mine. I just take the frozen corn or the frozen vegetables and I just pop it right on there. I normally add peas. I can't remember if I added peas to this one or not. Let's see if I did. So what we got there? Oh, yeah, there we go. There are the peas. So I've got some carrots, some green and yellow beans, and peas. And then I had to break it up because the peas are frozen together. And there's only about 3 of us in the house that like peas. So a bag of peas lasts for quite some time. Maneuver, 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 maneuver. Now potatoes. Blah, blah, blah. And just so everybody knows, shepherd's pie freezes really nicely. I've never, ever had a problem freezing it. Not once. Potatoes turn out just fine. Everything works out good. I just don't cook it at this stage. I set it aside to let everything cool down. And then I freeze it. And then when I take it out, I defrost it. And then, and then I cook it. And it works out beautifully. Every time. I've had a lot of people ask me about that. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so I've had a lot of people ask me about it, and I've never once had an issue. And then I still have potatoes left over. So what I did was I put those into a container, and I have frozen it. And you know what? That container of mashed potatoes is still down in my freezer. Everything else that's in this video has been eaten. Oh no, that's a lie. There's still one container of something else, but you don't see it in the video yet. Some chicken tikka masala. There's still one container of that. Okay, so we're going to spread this out. Now the reason I got a separate spoon was because, like I said about the corn, then this way if there ends up by getting corn on it, then I'm not contaminating the potatoes that are sitting there. Yeah, I think like that. Okay, get it all nice and smooth. And I can't remember if I did. I can't remember if I added paprika on the top of these or not. I always add paprika, but sometimes I'll add it when I put it in the oven to cook. But I did not cook the shepherd's pie. I think my kids did. Because like I said, well, yeah, I did. A lot of these freezer meals were made so that way when I'm at work, they have, some still have, they still have some homemade meals. Paprika, it always sticks. Why? Why does it need to stick? I don't know, it just does. Okay. So now what am I making here? I am making some, what do I got any ingredients for? I think that looks, honey mustard chicken. 1/4 cup of honey. By the looks of it. Yeah, because that's a 1/4 cup. Look at that. Look how easy that honey came out. Waste not, want not. I lick everything. 1 tablespoon of coconut aminos or soy sauce. A tablespoon of mustard. 2. 3. And there's still a little bit left. I don't know what size spoon that one is. That's a tablespoon. 2. See? Good to the last drop. Get everything out. Okay, we're going to stir that all up. What was I watching? Maybe that's the recipe. I honestly don't remember. Might have been one that I seen and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to try doing that one. typically always use pretty much the same one. Okay, so here is another thing of chicken breast that I'm going to use for the honey mustard chicken. But what I'm going to do is take off the tenders. I'm doing that because I'm also making chicken fingers or chicken tenders, like whatever. What I don't even know what they're called. I think they're called chicken tenders, like chicken fingers. There we go, chicken fingers. They were for me, so that way I had a quick meal. And they were delicious, but I think you'll see them in this video. I can't remember if I recorded it or not. Okay, dispose of that. Add those onto my plate there. Tidy up my workspace because a clean space is a better space. That and I was just dealing with chicken. I always clean up my area. That will go in the sink. Probably have hot water running on it at the moment. And we're just going to take that, pour it right over top. And I think I cooked it. So in that way, all they had to do was reheat it. Because I'm a little too paranoid that my kids won't get the chicken cooked fully. Okay, so here, oh yeah, yes, I did. Okay, so that is coconut yogurt. Preston's Choice, if you're wondering. It's a pretty good brand. I'm going to be making the chicken tenders. No, I'm not. It's not chicken tenders. This is the chicken tikka masala. So I'm making the marinade for it. So yogurt can be used dairy if you want. And then lemon juice goes in. Oh, look at me. I'm going to use a real lemon today. Sometimes, a lot of times I just use bottled lemon. Oh, okay, so it requires 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Ginger. Oh, ginger. Love me some ginger. Who doesn't love ginger? Like, seriously, it's good for you. It has a little bit of tang to it. It's delicious. I had to pause you for a moment so I could get a drink. So I'm dicing up the ginger because this goes in the marinade, and the marinade does get fried, but you're going to see all that, I think. Now we're going to get it all nicely chopped up using I can never remember what the proper name for that thing is. But that thing, we're going to get it all nicely chopped up. Again, that's going to go to the side because I do need more ginger later on. Can't remember. I use a fair bit of ginger now. So we're going to get that all stirred up. Stir, stir, stir. Double check. Make sure I got everything in there. What did I forget? Other than to wipe my hand. Okay, now we are making the chicken tenders. Okay, so that marinade for the chicken tikka masala needs to sit for a minimum of 1 hour. So for the chicken tenders, if I can find the recipe online again, I will post it. I don't really follow it anymore, but it's 1 egg, a tablespoon of mayonnaise, and about a teaspoon to a tablespoon, just depends on how much you want to use, of mustard, salt and pepper. That's pink Himalayan salt, if anyone's kind of wondering there. And then dill. I add the dill because I like dill. Add whatever herb you want. And then white flour to help it stick and bind to the chicken. I think this was my second time using the recipe. I've made them many times since. I never follow the recipe anymore. Now I just kind of go with whatever I want to put in there. Sometimes I don't even add the egg. Sometimes I don't have the mayonnaise. Just depends. Depends on my mood. A lot of times I don't add the flour anymore. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of those breadcrumbs I made, because it's been probably an hour at this point now, because you do want to let that sit for at least 10 minutes. Or so it's maybe been 10 minutes. Okay, so you want to take it and grease a cookie sheet or line it, whatever you want to do. It's your, your kitchen. And then we're going to lay everything down on the cookie sheet. Now, normally, the few couple times I did make them, I used the air fryer. But sadly, my air fryer has broke, so I had to replace it. And yeah, here we go. I put no seasoning in my breadcrumbs. None. All the seasoning is in the marinade that is coating the chicken right now. So you want to keep tossing it in breadcrumbs and use whatever kind of breadcrumbs you want. Now I'm using the homemade breadcrumbs. I personally do prefer the panko breadcrumbs. I think they come out a lot better with a little extra salt and pepper put into it. That's just, how I feel about it. Okay. And you can see I'm picking out every tiny little piece of chicken. I'm making sure I get all my chicken. And then that goes into the oven at 425 is what I put it in at, until it's nice and crispy and cooked all the way through, which takes about, I think it was like 15 minutes, but I go a little extra. I put in for about 20 minutes, I think. Now with this recipe, I will try and find a link for it again. I can't remember where I found it, but I have decreased some of the spice because it, was really hot, really, really hot originally. But now I've made it so it's more of a sweet recipe. So we got salt, the tikka masala, the garam masala going in. There's so many spices going in, I can't even begin to name them all off. There's paprika, there's basil, that is cumin. I need to get more cumin. I still have to do that. Cinnamon, there is coriander. There's just so many spices that go into that. Like I said, look down below for a link. It is really good. Okay, now I make it in a big pot because a curry is a stew, essentially. So I like to make sure I cook it for at least an hour. So in that way it has that, it's been stewed. Not like someplace, that recipe calls for cooking it, I think, for 10 minutes. And to cook the chicken separate from the sauce, whereas I do it all together, as you're going to see, because I personally do prefer making things as authentic as I can. And we got some coconut milk. Got to get all that fat out of there, because that's what makes this is so good. And then a tin of crushed tomatoes, or tomato sauce, actually, I think is what the recipe calls for, but I still don't have any of that done. And we're going to make sure we get, there's that little tiny piece of the paper again. I get so many of them. And then scrape it out. I spend so much time scraping cans out, I swear. Okay, and then we're going to stir all of that loveliness together. And let me tell you, that alone smells really good without even the spice mixture being added into it yet. It smells amazing. My kids absolutely love when I make this. That's why I'm shocked there's still a container of it in the freezer, to be honest with you. Okay, I think I may have skipped adding the spice mixture in. Oops, I add the spice mixture in while I am cooking it. I must have skipped that. Must have thought I did it on camera, and I didn't. As you can see, what I do is I make a big pot of rice, and I did freeze some rice actually, because I made a big pot of rice. No, I didn't freeze any of it because I made beef and broccoli, which I don't know I don't know if I made a video for all of that. But anyway, so I container this up, and these are essentially TV dinners, right? Ready-made meals to go. All you gotta do is just defrost it or pop it right into the microwave. It's fantastic. I even love these because I take them in my lunch, my lunch when I'm working. Or if I don't feel like cooking, I have this for lunch or something. Anyway, so I make sure every one of the pots or containers has a good amount of chicken. And then afterwards, I go along and I put that amazing, glorious sauce on all the containers so they have an even amount of the sauce. Because that sauce is just finger licking good. You do not want to waste any of that sauce. And it's so easy to make. You just, tomatoes, coconut milk, spices, simmer for ever until it's reduced a bit. And it's delicious. Absolutely delicious. And it doesn't have to be spicy. Like I said, I've taken the spices right back. And now it's more palatable for us because, well, even my children that really like spice were sweating while they were eating it when I made it the original way. There's no need for stuff to be that hot where it's burning your insides. Anyway, so you can see it made a good amount of meals. We got 5 meals there that are very, very filling. And then if you want to have something on the side, like a vegetable of some kind on the side. Yep, made a mess, made a mess, made a mess, clean the mess, clean the mess. Okay, I put them on that cutting board so I can move them over and you're going to see. So here is everything I made. There's the chicken tikka masala, the breadcrumbs, the leftover rice. There are the chicken tenders, honey mustard chicken, shepherd's pies, and the mashed potatoes. And you can see I write on there. Now I did change the temperature to 400 for all of them. Other than the chicken, I left the chicken at 320 because it was fully cooked. But there we go.